Jeremiah 23. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scattereth the sheep of my pasture, says YAHUAH. Therefore thus says YAHUAH Elohai of Yasharel against the pastors that feedeth my people. Ye have scatteredeth my flock, and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you as the evil of your doings, says YAHUAH. And I will gathereth the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, says YAHUAH. Behold, the days come, says YAHUAH, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days YAHUAH shall be saved, and Yasharel shall dwell safely. And this is his name whereby he shall be called, YAHUAH Zidkenu, YAHUAH our righteousness. Therefore, behold, the days come, says YAHUAH, that they shall no more say, YAHUAH lives, which brought up the children of Yasharel out of the land of Mitzrayim. But YAHUAH lives, which brought up and which leddeth the seed of the house of Yasharel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man, and like a man whom wine has overcome, because of YAHUAH and because of the words of his holiness. For the land is full of breakers of wedlock, for because of swearing the land mourns. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force is not right. For both prophet and priest are profane. Yea, in my house have I found their wickedness, says YAHUAH. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as a slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on, and fall therein, for I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, says YAHUAH. And I have seen folly in the prophets of Shomron. They prophesied in Baal, and causeth my people, Yasharel, to err. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem a horrible thing. They break up wedlock and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none returns from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants therefore as Amorah. Therefore thus says YAHUAH Zebul concerning the prophets, Behold, I will feed them with wormwood, and make them drink the water of gall. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness gone forth into all the land. Thus says YAHUAH Zebul, Hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of YAHUAH. They say still unto them that despise me, YAHUAH hath said, Ye shall have peace. And they say unto every one that walks after the imagination of his own heart, No evil shall come upon you. For who has stood in the counsel of YAHUAH, and has perceived and heard his word? Who has marked at his word, and heard it? Behold, a whirlwind of YAHUAH is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. it shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of YAHUAH shall not return until he have executed and till he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days he shall consider it perfectly. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel, and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way, and from the evil of their doings. Am I, Elohai, at hand, says YAHUAH, and not Elohai afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places, that I shall not see him, says YAHUAH? Do not I filleth the heavens and the earth, says YAHUAH? I have heard what the prophets said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart, which think to causeth my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. The prophet that has a dream, let him tell a dream, and he that has my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, says YAHUAH? Is not my word like as a fire, says YAHUAH, and like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, says YAHUAH, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophet, says YAHUAH, that use their tongues, and say, He says. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, says YAHUAH, and do tell them, and causeth my people to err by their lies and their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, says YAHUAH. And when his people, or the prophet or priest, shall ask you, saying, what is the burden of YAHUAH? You shall say unto them, What burden? I will even forsake you, says YAHUAH. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say, The burden of YAHUAH, I will even punish that man and his house. Thus shall ye say, every one to his neighbor, and every one to his brother, What has YAHUAH answered, and what has YAHUAH spoken? And the burden of YAHUAH shall ye mention no more. For every man's word shall be his burden. For ye have perverted as the words of the living Elohim, of YAHUAH Zebaoth, our Elohim. Thus shall you say to the prophet, What has YAHUAH answered you, and what has YAHUAH spoken? But since ye say, The burden of YAHUAH, therefore thus says YAHUAH, because ye saith his word, the burden of YAHUAH, and I have sent unto you, saying, Ye shall not say, the burden of YAHUAH. Therefore, behold, I, even I, will utterly forget you, and I will forsake you, and at the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and a perpetual shame, which shall not be forgotten.